Good afternoon. Welcome to today's webinar event. My name is Joshua and I'm going to be your presenter. It is promptly 2 p.m. Eastern Time and we're going to be working together for about the next 20 minutes or so. We're here to talk about deleting accounts and accounting years. Again, I'm going to talk about the topic up until 20 minutes after, no later, just simply because we'd like to be respectful of your taking the 20 minutes out of your day to spend with us. I will be happy to try to stick around after the event is concluded if you have time and answer questions that you have. I will also try to keep an eye on them and answer questions during the webinar event. If you do have questions for me, please type those into the questions portion of the webinar. I'll repeat the question for everyone's benefit and I'll see what I can't do to answer that for you. I do ask that we do keep the questions topical, meaning about deleting accounts or accounting years. Simply I'm unprepared either with the information or with the data that we have here, perhaps to answer other questions that you have about the software. Please consider looking at the other webinar events that we have to see if that's a topic that might help answer your question that you have. So we're here again to talk about deleting accounts and accounting years. This can be done. A lot of folks are unaware that deleting accounts can be done, and deleting accounts in one year does not delete accounts in any other accounting year. Okay. Before we get started on that, though, we are trying to make reference more accurately to our training workbooks in terms of these topics, and so deleting accounts is covered in a couple of our accounting workbooks. In A102, pages 19 to 21 talks about deleting individual accounts, and accounting workbook A202, pages 49 to 50, discusses the en masse delete accounts and deleting accounting years. So in any case, just wanting to make reference to those books. If you have the Church Windows workbooks, accounting workbooks, you can find the information that we're going to be discussing in those two places. So to me, deleting accounts would be considered a major change, a big change to the database. Okay. So what I'm driving at here is that with a major change to the database, we probably would be well served to make a backup of our data. So if you go into admin, and right here we've got backup. The backup function allows us to make a quick and simple backup of the Church Windows data quickly and easily, just in case. The beauty of deleting unwanted accounts is that if for some reason I delete an account I shouldn't have, but the system permitted me to do it, you can always just re-add the account back to the chart of accounts. Okay? So let's go ahead and launch accounting and let's talk about this. So we're going to talk about the A102 pages 19 through 21 first, deleting accounts from within the accounting module here. There are numerous ways that accounts themselves can be deleted. So after your backup is made, you've got peace of mind that you've got the data protected. If for some reason you delete something you shouldn't have, or a budgeted account or something, there are certain conditions that accounts need to meet in order to be able to permit deletion or to allow deletion. The account has to have a zero balance. Okay? It cannot have any transactions posted to it in the current year. Okay? Those are the two things that control whether an account can be deleted. If an account has a transaction that was posted to it and later reversed, it still cannot be deleted in the accounting year when the transaction was entered and reversed. You'll have to wait until the next accounting year to do that. Okay? So we have one of the ways, and this is a very common and simple one to use, is if we go into our Manage Accounts window here, and we're looking at our Chart of Accounts screen, and we click over here under, say, our tree view. Let's see if I can find one here. So yeah, we've got a Thanksgiving offering income. I don't think we have any activity here. We don't need that account. So we can click on our balance tab. No activity, no balance. Income accounts, of course, and expenses don't have beginning balances ever. But right now it does not appear as there's any income that we've received for that account. So I can now click, once I found the account in the chart of accounts, I can click right over here in the upper right on my tree view tab right here, right there. Let me draw an arrow. Hey, I've gotten pretty good at drawing these. Then when I click on the tree view tab, it'll still highlight that selected account in its fund. I can simply right click over it and notice here I've got the delete Thanksgiving offering income in the list. If the delete option were not in this menu that pops up, then I would need to run my general ledger or my transaction journal, including reverse transactions, to see why that account could not be deleted or cannot be deleted. But in this case, I can. So if I choose delete Thanksgiving offering income, it'll offer me the dialog box that says, are you sure you want to delete it? I can click yes, boom, and it's gone. Okay? That is deleting accounts from the tree view. Okay, so you can, if you've got a couple of a single accounts here that you want to delete, that's a quick and fast and simple way to delete individual accounts. Okay, so the key is finding it in the chart of accounts, going to the tree view, right-clicking on it, and if delete's in the menu, you can do that. If I say right-click over my general ties and offerings here, notice I've got add, sub or income accounts for general fund, or I can edit my general ties and offerings, but I cannot delete it. Again, it has activity. And it's verified if I click the balance tab too. Not my Thanksgiving offering income, my general ties and offering. That's what I meant. Right here. I have to highlight it here. So general ties and offerings, right here I've got a balance. Okay? So option number 1 for deleting unwanted accounts is, again, if you've got a couple, tree view is really nice and simple to do that. The other way, and this offers more of an en masse method of being able to delete it, deleting multiple accounts basically in one fell swoop, is to go up to Manage Accounts here at the top left. Right below it, we click the Accounts plus minus. Let me get out my highlighter here, right here, Accounts plus minus. And then when I click on that, let me get rid of my drawing here now that I've steered some focus. The accounts change. I can now go over to, choose my appropriate account type. Let's say, again, income accounts. Here then I have to choose my fund. So let's say we're going to choose our general operating fund. And one of the things that I like to point out here is down here in the lower left. So notice here, here's all of our income accounts for general fund. Let me show you where I'm seeing that here, right here, income accounts for general fund, operating fund. I've chosen the fund, and down here, notice I've got this column called delete on the left. So if it says NA, then the system isn't permitting us to delete the account. Okay, but any of those that don't have NA, the system sees are eligible for deletion. So I can now come down here and go, okay, loose offering income, and come down here and check handbells income. And then now notice down here in the lower left corner, I do have the delete selected accounts button down here. So then I would just simply click on that button and it'll pop up and say, are you sure you want to delete loose offering income? Yes. Then are you sure you want to delete handbells income? Click yes. And those accounts are gone. Okay. Again, allows me to select multiple accounts simultaneously and literally delete them one right after another. Okay. If an account cannot be deleted, but you still don't want to use it in the remainder of the current year, you can go back to our chart of accounts here under Manage Accounts, find an account, say, newcomers class here. Say, click on that. We go, oh, we don't have this class anymore. You can highlight the account, and then right up here in the upper right on our Detail tab, we recommend marking the account as inactive. That does not remove the account from reports. It just simply means we are not going to use the account anymore, and it will not show up in your transaction screens to post to any further. And then you can, when you open, say, 2017, or we open 2017, we could go into and delete those accounts in that new year. Okay? So if accounts can't be deleted, again, marking them inactive can certainly prevent further transactions from being posted to them by mistake. Okay. One final thing on deleting individual accounts. If we go down here to, say, our expense accounts, okay? So notice here we've got some, this is true for any other types of accounts. So deleting accounts, like for ledgers, see we've got like senior minister salary and benefits, and they got a plus sign on the left of it, associate minister salary. Those are ledgers with sub-accounts, okay? So if I click on those accounts, the plus sign, to expand those, the ledger can only be deleted, the main ledger account can only be deleted when after the sub-accounts have been removed from it or those accounts have been deleted. Okay? So one final tag about deleting accounts on that is, yeah, if I remove the accounts from the ledger, then my main ledger account can be deleted. But if you're dealing with ledgers with sub-accounts, you have to deal with the sub-accounts first before the main ledger can go. Okay? Just, not everybody uses ledgers with sub-accounts, but it is important that we understand how those work. A similar type concept is true when we're dealing with funds. Okay? So, if I've got my funds here, the fund itself is an account that ties the subsequent income and expense accounts together. So if I go to my Elliott Achidia Memorial Fund here, the fund itself cannot be deleted until I deal with the income and expenses that are linked to that. So, if again I, click on the Elliott Achidia Fund, and it has a balance too, so I won't even be able to delete this balance in 2016 because it has a balance. Okay? So, again, accounts, sub-accounts, income and expenses linked to funds are all impacting whether, the order in which accounts can be deleted. Okay? If you need help with it or you have questions about it, please let us know. Let's see here. Yep, all of our funds have activity, so we don't have any need to delete those funds. And so again, I don't really have an example that I can show you here about that. So if you're unclear about how to delete funds, please let us know. All right, so we're going to move on to the A202 topics for deleting unused accounts and deleting accounting years. And we're going to stay in accounting right here in 2016. And so basically what this first one is on page 49 of A202. It talks about going up to special functions, manage years, and we see here at the bottom of our menu, delete unused accounts, delete accounting years. And so we're going to talk about delete unused accounts first. Being asked, do accounts marked as inactive continue to show up on reports? That's a great question, Amanda. Yes, they can. If you include accounts with zero balance and they don't have a balance, then yes, those accounts certainly can still show up on reports. All right, so here we're going to click on delete unused accounts. Great question. So here is the entire list of all of the accounts that in 2016 our accounting database sees are eligible for deletion or can be deleted. So notice here it tells us the type of an account it is on the left, expense or asset, vendor, it doesn't matter. Liability. Again, all of these accounts can be deleted based on what Church Window sees. No activity, current year activity, no balance, no beginning balance. Okay? Even shows us the account number. Our accounts payable vendors, of course, don't have a number, so that's why they don't show an account number in the account number field. It even tells us the last date that these accounts were used. Very helpful. And right here at the top, and unfortunately I can't move it up, enlarge it anymore for you, it says, choose from the accounts below to delete for accounts eligible for deletion. They must not have a beginning balance, nor had transactions or prior system checks posted in the last 2 years. And there's our confirmation about our ledger accounts. Ledger accounts or fund balance accounts that have sub-accounts, income, or expenses connected to them may not be deleted. In order to delete ledger accounts or funds, you first have to delete or move their associated sub-accounts, income, or expenses. Okay? And notice it says right there, if cleaning up more than one account, 1 year, work from the most current year backwards. There's our confirmation for us really that we're dealing with accounts in each specific individual accounting year. So down here, notice at the bottom, we've got the option called check all and uncheck all. So you can be selective about this. So we could do, okay, check all. It puts a check mark in the right-hand column, but I can go down the list and go, okay, I don't want to delete these accounts, and just basically randomly choose which ones I want to keep, and then simply click delete selected accounts. So it says, it doesn't even pop up and prompt me for this now. Okay, it's just deleting them. There is no confirmation on this. Okay, So it says, do not close the program until complete. So it is deleting. 97 accounts were deleted. Deleting these accounts may have caused new accounts to be available for delete. Okay? So what that means is, if I deleted income and expense accounts associated with either ledgers or funds, those other main accounts or funds now may be available to be deleted. Okay? So if I click OK on that, yeah, and here's the accounts that I chose to keep. All right? If, again, I go, oh, I shouldn't have deleted a specific account, I can go right back into my Manage Accounts, Accounts Plus Minus, choose income or expense or what have you, choose the appropriate account, and add that account right back to my chart of accounts. Give it the same name, give it the same number, everything if I wish. Okay? All right. Finally, let's talk about deleting accounting years. A couple, I don't remember exactly which version it occurred in. I think it was 16 or 17 if I'm not mistaken. We do have this ability to delete accounting years. Some churches have had church windows for a long, long time, and so those databases get really large, and that old history is of no use or help for us anymore. So in the 2 or 3 versions ago, we built in the option to delete accounting years. Okay. So here it says delete accounting years. Again, backing up the data beforehand would be simply good, smart computing and database management. But first here it says select accounting year to delete. But the first thing that I recommend is, notice here, years that will be deleted, there's a little question mark circle here. If we click on that, it tells us here, future accounting years that do not have transactions may be deleted. So basically, if you opened your accounting year, future accounting year by mistake, it can be deleted, provided it does not have transactions in it. Future accounting years cannot be deleted if a year following that year has transactions. So if I say open 17 and 18 and I posted a transaction to 2018, I'm stuck with 2017. So I would have to go in and just manipulate my chart of accounts or do whatever I had to do. Okay? And it says here, future accounting years cannot be deleted unless the years following that year are also deleted. So basically, we can't have gaps between accounting periods. Accounting years eight or more years old may be deleted. And past accounting years cannot be deleted unless the prior year prior to that is also deleted. So an example of that would be, if I click my down arrow here, I notice here that we've got 2007 and 2008. So if I try to choose my 2008 accounting year, basically the one that occurred after 2007, it adds both of them to the list because it's saying you cannot delete 2008 without then deleting 2007 first. So it would require that we delete both of those in order for me to delete 2008. Again, no gaps in our accounting periods. Okay? So simply, if I go, yep, these are both more than 8 years old. Here we are in 2016. 2008 would have been 8 years ago. So I can say, okay, yep, in order to maybe make my databases more manageable and my backups, smaller, I'm going to delete both of those accounting years. You simply click delete accounting years and it says make a backup for your data before deleting. If you have not made a backup, click no. Delete accounting years 7 and 8. I've already made my backup, so we would click yes. So like we did with our deleting our accounts, it says 2 years were deleted. Now there are no years that can be deleted. For help, click the question mark or press F1. Click OK. Now the screen is gray. So now if I go back up to my Manage Years and view accounting year information, I do not have any accounting years prior to 2009. Okay? Again, folks, just as a quick tag to this here, deleting accounts in a specific accounting year does not delete that same account or fund from any other different accounting year. The end of year procedure and each separate accounting period is what separates each year's chart of accounts from the rest. Okay? So when you delete an account from 2016, the same account is going to still exist in 15 and earlier if that account was in those prior years. Okay? There's often a lot of times of confusions. As a technician who works with folks a lot on these accounting issues, one of the most common problems I see with charts of accounts is I'll review a chart of accounts for a church, and they'll have 20 pages of accounts and they only use 7 pages of it. Nobody's gone through and cleaned up their chart of accounts because they think that deleting them will affect other accounting periods, and it does not. If you have questions about it, please call me. All right, we are at promptly 20 minutes after the hour. I'm done with what I'm talking about. Thank you. If you need to leave the webinar, choose the exit leave webinar function or just close out of it, and it should close out of that for you. However, if you do have questions about that, please, I'm happy to stick around and answer questions about what I've covered here, but I'm not seeing anything coming in. We hope to see you at another Church Windows User Group webinar event. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. I appreciate it. Kay's asking, does the work the same in donations? That's a wonderful question, Kay. Donations accounts are not treated in the same way because we do not have an end of year in donations. So no, donation accounts, yes, if they have no activity and no transactions, they can be deleted. But if there's even a giving account that has a transaction from 10 years ago, that account, right now we're stuck with that account. We can mark them as inactive, the giving accounts and donations, but they cannot be deleted if they have any history to them. Yeah, good question. All right, I'm waiting to see if anybody else is popping in questions here. Well, thank you. Everyone's very gracious. Thanks so much. All righty, I'm not seeing anything coming in here. And it looks like folks are diving out pretty quickly. This webinar event will be on our YouTube page before the close of business tomorrow. So if you want to revisit it, you can go to youtube.com/churchwindows to see this event recording starting tomorrow. All right, well, I'm seeing no questions coming in, so I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar for everybody. And please don't hesitate to call support if you have further questions, of course. Thank you all so much. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.